Starbucks, one of the biggest companies in the world and most popular, and it was all started by our new friend Howard Schultz, the CEO and founder of Starbucks. He started way back in the 1970s. They told him it was impossible. Look who's a billionaire now.
I know. But we have to say, I mean, he lives in Seattle, but grew up in Canarsie, and he hasn't forgotten the old neighborhood.
Well, as we were saying, it never leaves you, and my Brooklyn roots are always with me.
How come you don't have a Brooklyn accent, by the way?
I left Brooklyn to go to school when I was 18, and not that I disguise it, but I'm all Brooklyn.
Okay, that's good to know.
Congratulations on everything. We want to talk coffee in a little bit, but first, let's put the book cover up, if you don't mind. For Love of Country, What Our Veterans Can Teach Us About Citizenship, Heroism, and Sacrifice. Sir, why this book now?
Well, over the last 10 to 15 years, about 2.5 million extraordinary men and women have served in Iraq and Afghanistan. About 1 million are now entering civilian life. I know you know this story very well from your own family. The issue is only about 1% of the entire American public served in these wars. Most of the American people have not been connected. What I'm trying to do with this book and the concert Tuesday night is demonstrate to the American business people that we cannot allow the veterans to enter civilian life without a sense of belonging and have them get the kind of job they deserve. What's happened in America is because of an all-volunteer service, there's been a bifurcation between the military and our society, and that's the unintended consequences. It's not good for the country. I don't want the veterans to have a situation where they're coming back from war and have been forgotten. I want them to be respected, valued, and I think we have a moral obligation to do everything we can to celebrate them. And that's what this book's about, and that's what the concert's about Tuesday night.
Now, your dad served in the military.
Yes.
He was in war, right?
He was.
Did you ever think about following your dad's footsteps at any point?
Well, the interesting thing for me was when I was 18 years old, and I tell my kids this, they had no idea there was a lottery. And I sat in front of the television with my mother, and the first 125 that were picked on television went to Vietnam. My number was 332.
Wow.
So I didn't serve. My father served in South Pacific in World War II, but this whole thing started for me when I went to West Point 4 years ago, and I'm going back there today to speak to the cadets.
Oh, that's so nice.
Where do you think the most help is needed in terms of veterans and people getting out of the military and making that transition? I'm sorry, is it employment? Is it where? Where is the most assistance required?
Well, I think it's at multiple levels, but I think not having a job is a key issue in terms of building self-esteem, being part of an organization. I think jobs are so critical. One of the issues that has been a problem is the military veterans that are coming back have been stigmatized with brain trauma or PTS, and that's a small percentage. So we have to do everything we can to raise the level of conversation and do everything we can to really provide a strong level of understanding. So I think having empathy, having sensitivity, and the American public, most of whom have not been engaged in this war, we just don't want them to be forgotten.
And you've made a commitment with your company to hire
yes.
at least a certain amount of veterans.
Well, we've made a commitment to hire 10,000. We've already hired 1,000, and my own family foundation has made a significant contribution as well.
That's fantastic.
That would be great, sir. We wish you luck with that. Let's put the book cover up one more time. For Love of Country, What Our Veterans Can Teach Us About Citizenship, Heroism, and Sacrifice. Now, the eggnog latte.
Oh, God.
What were you thinking? Was that a marketing ploy to say that you weren't going to do it?
This was a big mistake we made, and we knew it within 24 hours. Someone at Starbucks decided maybe this is a year we do something new. Our customers were outraged. Within 24 hours, we had so many calls, so many letters, and we said we made a mistake and we fixed it, and it's coming back.
All right, what kind of coffee do you drink, or do you?
Of course, I drink about 4 to 5 cups a day, usually a French press of Sumatra.
You started with one store, right?
Yes.
Why the one store? Where did you get the brainstorm? Or do you remember the moment you said, I'm going to start a coffee stand?
I was in Italy, and I was walking through the city of Milan, and I was walking into one coffee bar after another and saw the sense of community, the third place between home and work, the romance of coffee, and I thought, let's recreate this in the United States. I had no money, no resources, just a dream. And I think this is a perfect description of the American promise and the American entrepreneurial story. And it happened to me, and it can happen to lots of young people in America.
But how do you go from Canarsie to Seattle to owning the world?
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell you.
What is that? I know it's hard work.
Well, I think...
And you didn't go to Princeton.
No, I didn't go to Princeton. I don't even have a business degree. But what I did have is an understanding that if you can build a company that balances profitability with a sense of humanity, that the good things can happen, and if you share success. So Starbucks was the first company in America to give health insurance to every employee, equity in the form of stock options. Now we're giving college tuition to juniors and seniors. And what we're trying to do is demonstrate to other business leaders, you can make a profit, you can take care of your people, you can serve your communities, and in this case, take on a social issue like veterans and demonstrate to the American public that business and capitalism is not just about making money.
These generous, I think it's fair to say generous policies have worked out quite well so far.
Absolutely.
But McDonald's, I mean, they're not really following suit. It's not catching fire, some of the things you're doing at Starbucks, right?
Well, you know, McDonald's is a great company, but I don't spend much time talking about them.
All right, we have some comments on our Fox5
Okay.
NY Facebook page.
Okay.
One person wants to know, what will you be doing about Apple Pay?
Apple Pay, okay. Good question. So Starbucks is the leading company in the U.S. that processes mobile payment transactions with your phone. About 7 million people a week pay with their phone.
Out of how many?
75 million a week.
Okay, so
it's
10%.
Yeah, and it's growing rapidly. So there's lots of companies in America. Apple is one of them, eBay is another, that are chasing a huge prize, and that is which company is going to emerge as the Visa of mobile payment. Starbucks is in a leadership position, and we believe that we have the capability to be part of that conversation.
Okay.
So someone is very well informed.
All right, let me ask you about, do you use GMO milk at Starbucks? And if so, will an organic version be available and when?
This is a controversial issue about organic milk. We do not use organic milk at this time. We go through a tremendous amount of dairy at Starbucks on a national basis. We do not have enough quality supply to take care of the entire United States. This is an issue we're looking at, and over time probably will move in that direction.
All right, what do you miss most about Canarsie, Brooklyn? That's my question.
Pizza by the slice.
You don't get that in Seattle?
Not the same. Not the same. And also the Nova locks at the local Jewish advertising store at Seaview across from the Bayview Projects. Not there anymore.
Finally, Howard, when did you join the Billionaire Club? I'm sorry, but that had to be a big moment. I mean, you don't have to answer, but there was a moment where, do you remember it? You remember, like, life's never going to be the same.
No, I mean, of course I remember becoming successful, but I don't define my life by the money. I'm defining my life by trying to do good things for the community we serve and build a great enduring company.
All right, beautiful. The book is out, For Love of Country, and just tell us quickly about the concert Tuesday night.
The concert Tuesday night will be on 7 p.m. Eastern. There'll be hundreds of thousands of people in the National Mall, HBO, nationally televised with an open signal. Bruce Springsteen, Eminem, Carrie Underwood. It's going to be extraordinary. All benefiting and celebrating the service of veterans, the Concert for Valor.
That's beautiful.
Please buy the book. It's going to the right cause.
Howard Shultz, the founder and CEO of Starbucks, sir. Thank you very much.
Honored to have you here. Thank you so much. And we're co-hosting